This video is about not overplaying your part in someone's life. When I see myself doing too much for a person, or for a person to take me completely for granted, or if I see myself jumping through hoops just to please you, then I know that maybe I just need distance. Hello guys, and welcome back. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Demalia, and on this channel we just talk. So let's go ahead. So today we're gonna have a very, como se dice, a very short, not even say short because I'm a certified yapper, so I can't really guarantee it's gonna be short, but a very much needed reminder for me and for all of you guys. And this is a video on the topic of not overplaying your part in someone's life. Wait. This video is about not overplaying your part in someone's life, or we could even keep it as not overplaying your part, period. Look, you love too much and you are too loyal, and that is a problem. It is a major problem because of this idea of you think that you're loyal and you have loyalty, it pushes you to like unthinkable lengths. And in hindsight, you're thinking like, how on earth did I do that? And you were blinded by a perceived loyalty that you had to provide for someone, or, you know, especially if you're a person who loves and loves hard and is genuine and loves hard since the beginning, you're gonna think that it's necessary for you to come on, like to be that friend and to support and use whatever kind of character traits you have to be able to help that person that's in need. So I was having this conversation with one of my close friends, and we were just talking about in the past how we thought loyalty was the be-all done-all quality, and sometimes loyalty would be even to the detriment. Don't go out with a guy whose homeboys is, you know, what they are, but they defend them. You know, they defend them, and they do that because they have blind loyalty, and their loyalty knows no bounds. This is kind of what we are doing ultimately, and I'm going to share with you guys 3 situations where I honestly, looking back, I could have played a role, but I shouldn't have went as far as what I did. So one of the ways I overplay my part in people's lives is because I'm a very as you can tell by this channel, a very talkative person. I can get my point across. I'm not easily intimidated by power structures. I'm not very intimidated by people who have perceived power structures, and I'm not scared to put someone in their place when they need it. So oftentimes when it comes to my friends who I feel like maybe have a harder time, or like even my siblings who have a harder time just like getting their point across, I will swoop in and come and, you know, get my point across. This started as young as I can even remember. I remember in elementary school, me and my sister used to get bullied in the bus because we were so close, and we're still, alhamdulillah, still close. And we used to share lollipops in the bus. So me and her, like my dad would give us, or my mom would give us, like a parent would give us like a candy, and we just share it. So I'll take a lick and she'll take a lick. And we used to get bullied in that in the bus. And I think something happened that this big girl, you know, I'm saying this in hindsight, but at that time, you know, it wasn't what I was today. But this, you know, overweight girl, what she did is she kind of like nudged my sister. Like when we were sharing the lollipops, people didn't like that. So she was getting off her bus stop, and she kind of like nudged my sister to the point that like the lollipop, she almost choked on it, because like she nudged her so bad that like the lollipop went into her throat. And as you can tell, I was not gonna have it. So, you know, I just got up, I was saying what I had to say, and I was like 7 and she was like 9, or like somewhere around those ages. We were in elementary school when that happened. I let her have it, and she never said anything to us after that. Or I can, like, that as young as I can remember. And mind you, that was my older sister. So even though, you know, generally, you know, you'd have like an older sister be like a mama bear or something, like for both of my sisters, because I actually have 2 sisters, I played that role. For my little sister, I was that sister bear, and for my older sister, I was that sister bear too. So honestly, I'm thinking about it, I actually do that also, like with my parents. Like if my parents are on the phone with customer service and they're giving them an attitude, best believe I'm gonna snatch that phone and give that customer service representative a piece of my mind. And that actually happened where they gave us a discount for our internet and phone. But anyway, I digress. So I am the type of person to step in when I feel like people are being abused, or people, just because they lack the wherewithal to be able to express themselves, or to have people who are essentially abusing their power over them, like kind of back off. I swoop in. Even if you could say like, who are you? Like, why are you even in this situation? I will insert myself. And it just so happens that like this unfortunately also does create turmoil with me and people I don't know, or people I'm burning bridges essentially with people I don't even know, because I trust my friends and I trust that what they say, I take it for bond, like, and to a point where it's like, you know, in like in Islam scholarly tradition, there's something called taqlid, so blind following, not like in extrapolating that to like my situation of like friends, but kind of like, if you guys are Muslim and familiar with that concept, that's kind of what I'm doing. Like, you tell me this person told you this way, this thing, and came at you this way, best believe I'm gonna take your word for bond and go take up that person with that. So it's just so happened that, you know, I wouldn't say too long ago, but not too long, not too long ago, but not too like relatively not too long ago, something like this happened in a situation where, you know, someone was like just abusing their authority with someone that I cared about. And, you know, even though like I didn't know these people, and I knew how sometimes girls could get, and I believe, and I still honestly do believe what my friend said. I still do believe what that person said, and because one thing about me is, in the situation, I will definitely like, I don't think a friend has a motive to lie to me about something like that. So, you know, I take them up for that. So what did I do? I literally, and looking back at it, I'm like, maybe I could have done this differently. We confronted them like on the spot kind of thing. So I live far from that place, but I took my butt to that place. And like, these girls don't even know me, like they've met me once in their life, so they know me as that person's friend. And I just came up and I just had the facts, and I just talked, and I spent maybe close to like an hour like just telling them like what they were doing is not good, and like just going back and forth with them and just mediating the discussion between them, because I feel like if my friend at the time was was alone, they'd kind of like, you know, intimidate her into not being able to say what she really said, what she really felt like she could say. So I was there telling them, like calling them out on certain points. And mind you, I've grown, I'm mature, so it's not this kind of thing where you're like throwing names at people. No, it was a really diplomatic conversation. But then again, I saw how like I even had friends that were present there that did not do that kind of thing. So it's like, what I love hard. And for me, it's like that transition for a friend to become a sister is like, you know, I need to work on the barriers to entry for that. So I will do you as I will do my sister. Like, I remember this guy when we were younger, because my sister is like 6 years younger than me, my younger sister. And essentially what happened is, this guy wanted to throw a snowball at her, but threw it and wanted to throw a snowball at someone, but it hit her, and he was not trying to say sorry, and he was just like laughing about it. And my sister was at that time like 6 and crying. So I was like, oh, okay. So what I did is, the next day I orchestrated this whole thing. I had my best friend at the time take my sister into our like apartment complex and like close the door so that they could like be there to open the door for me. And I followed this guy up to his house, took a ball of snow and threw it at him, and ran back home, because I'm like, there's no way you're gonna do that to my sister and think that thing's gonna happen to you. He tried to run, but you know, adrenaline was and you know, fast forward, we kind of like, yeah, we're cool now, but you know, at that time that had to be done. So bringing back to the current situation, although maybe I've been friends with that person very relatively short compared to like my sisters, as soon as she told me that people were like kind of like ganging up on her, I was like, you know what, let me use like the skills I have, like the interpersonal skills. And looking back at that, even though like the desired outcome was actually achieved, maybe it was not my place, because right now it's causing like the way stuff happens, like I honestly don't really think I'd be comfortable to go there anymore. Not that like, you know, I'm banned or anything, I just don't feel comfortable there anymore, because I know that they're there. I always take people's beef as mine, which kind of like in return, although you know I end up regretting. I'm like, okay, but what if I didn't do this? Then I'd be able to do this or that or the third. Of course, I've been better in time with that, but still, it's a skill to know that you don't have to overplay your part in someone's life. And granted, like I'm thinking of my close friend now, like one of my closest friends from like ever. If she calls me up and she tells me that someone did something to her, best believe there's no way I'm not even gonna, like, before the phone drops, I'm already with her and I'm gonna do what I have to do. She's literally a sibling. Like, I will do what I have to do. But I have to understand that it's not bad using your skills for people you love, but there's a time and place. You can't do that for everyone. You can't use your skills and you can't put yourself in precarious situations for everyone. You might even like love that person and y'all might have clicked super quick, because that's it with me. Like sometimes some friendships just skyrocket. It feels like you guys know each other forever. And so sometimes like you do things sporadically because you're like, you know, I got my people, you know. But down the line, you know, when stuff fizzles down and like you look at it in hindsight, you're like, okay, but look at the aftermath. Like I can't really comfortably go to this space anymore because of what I did. And although like it did benefit the person I was trying to benefit at the moment, look at what it did to me. Like I feel like in hindsight what I could have done is just like maybe not go there in person and like speak my mind and tell them like, y'all can't do this, da da da. I could have just coached her. I could have just gave her pointers. I could have just been like, okay, I don't know, I can't come, but if I were you, I'd do this, that, and the third. And I think another very complicated trait with me is like I'll also include my loved ones in the situation. So, you know, if I feel like adding my dad to this equation can make like the point come more across, because you know some people are scared of like men. I genuinely offer to bring my dad to the situation, you know, like especially if it's like something bureaucratic, and I include people who have nothing to do with the situation there. I'm thinking about it, I'm like so happy that I didn't even bring it up to my dad to like come and talk to people, because he would be burning bridges with people he had no business burning bridges with. Anyway, another thing I do is like, that was like more so using my skills, but also blind loyalty or overplaying a part in someone's life can also mean doing acts that are like damn near like crazy, like acts you would never do, but just because of your wanting to be loyal to someone, you do it. Like acts you would never ever see yourself doing like in a million years, because there's a distinction between, you know, I'm a person who can speak freely, let me use, you know, this ability of mine to help my friend, and let us go rob a bank kind of thing. But I'm speaking of the latter, of like doing extremely edge case stuff that you'd never see yourself doing in a million years, just because you want to help someone, or you want to be super loyal to someone. It does not work for many things, and I think it could stem from three main things. The first main thing is like, especially if you and this person have a past where you have wronged them in the past, where you think that you know, you have to absolutely redeem yourself. And I was listening to this podcast / video from Will something. I've been listening to him lately. Very good. Just because you've wronged someone in the past does not mean that you have to lose yourself in the process of trying to regain their trust and their confidence, which, you know, in turn pushes you to do like very, you know, life altering / life changing things just to prove them that, you know, you changed, or to prove them that, you know, this time I'm for real kind of thing. You can see this a lot in relationships. Like the guy cheats on the girl cheats on the guy, and right now he has to go through hell and above and go through many hoops just to show the girl or the guy that they're loyal, you know, and the person keeps on testing, seeing how far you can go to prove them. And ultimately there's no litmus test to trust, so they're gonna be simply just using you to see how far you can go. You're not supposed to be testing your boundaries just because you hurt someone. Like I feel like, especially if you and someone maybe have fell out, and you know, you guys want to rekindle something, or you guys want to like, you know, get over it, whether like it's like relationship, friendship, whatsoever, the common ground has to be that we both understand that, okay, what we've done, or the way you've hurt me or the way I've hurt you in the past, we understand that right now. We both forgive each other for that, and we're moving forward and building a friendship based on new principles, not eternally like playing a losing game to kind of try to redeem, like a running through hamster wheels. So the only reason for me to still be with you is so that I can prove you that, you know, I'm worthy. No, as soon as you find yourself going through many hoops and lowering your standards and lowering your boundaries and re-triggering yourself just to prove to a person that, you know, you're for real, that right now I know like I deserve to be in your life. No, I don't care who it is. It could be a relative, a friend, a husband you've been with for 10 years. You're just gonna live a life of misery, because the only thing you're doing is just proving to the person. And this can involve many things, like the edge cases I said. If this person is dangling their trust over your head and telling you, the only way I can see and the only way I can know if you're for real or if you're to know that, you know, trust me, is if you rob a bank with me, then you're gonna find you think you'd never rob a bank, but when push comes to shove, you see that person, you're like, okay, but I risk losing this relationship if I don't do this, or I risk for the person to feel like I'm still gonna say, so let me do it. And bit by bit, it starts with the bank, then it starts with the government office, and then it starts with murder. It's like, okay, would that be censored by YouTube? I don't know. It starts with unaliving people. So, and then it turns out to like being in a cartel. So I'm saying very extreme cases, but I had to stop myself and be like, wait, I've healed a lot since, you know, at least I would say the pandemic was a very, you know, a transformative year for me, but I've healed a lot since that point, and I've seen a lot of do's and don'ts that I like in relationships, that I don't like in relationships, do's and don'ts in regards to how much I give people, or how much they give, I give of people, and how much they give to me. So when I see myself doing too much for a person, or for a person to take me completely for granted, or for a person to not be not be cognizant of what I'm doing, or if I see myself jumping through hoops just to please you, then I know that maybe I just need distance. I just know that at that certain point, it's not healthier for me. And the thing is, you know, if I were you and you feel like you've healed and you've done the work, know that that friendship, be mindful and know that, yeah, I could have done much better, and I'm very sad for how much I hurt this person, but I'll know this for the next relationship, and I won't do this to my next partner, or my next this, or my next that. So learn how to not overplay your role, and this could be in two ways. Doing too much with what you have. Sometimes it can be your qualities, like, you know, your confidence or your eloquence. It could also be your resources, like your money. Like, you know, if you want to show someone that you're, you know, a good friend, then you buy them a bunch of things or stuff like that. No, like, don't overplay the part in your life, or don't overplay the role. You can't be someone's everything. You owe yourself to be your own friend. You cannot even pour from a broken cup, and that's what we're trying to do with people who we feel like we owe them everything, so we have to know. The only person we owe anything, we owe our existence for, we owe our health for, is God. And also, I'm not saying that it's bad to use your qualities to help people, but just weigh the pros and the cons. Like, yeah, okay, if you guys are in a setting where someone's talking all crazy to a loved one of yours, or like a friend, y'all don't have to be 10 years deep for you to be like, okay, no, but I feel like it's not necessary what you're saying. No, of course. But if it requires you to wear your clothes, drive an hour, talk to people you don't even know of from a spray can of paint, and burn bridges with people you really don't even know, and take your friend's word for bond, and then in turn be unable to go to that place anymore, not because they banned you, of course, like I said, but just because you feel uncomfortable, and just, you know, having that branded as the person who came to, you know, cause problems. Is it really worth it? And I'd say yes. If it's my sister, yes, I don't care what you label me. If it's my little sister, older sister, if it's my closest friends, yes, I will do that. And I know it's an unpopular opinion, because I definitely have close friends have passed the test of time, and I have close friends that I've become very close to, like in the short span, so like in 1 years. But I do believe that time is also a factor in this. So yeah, so time is definitely a factor. Like, I definitely will be more ready to just go and pounce at someone who will talk all crazy to my long-standing close friend, just because I know her, I've studied her, I know that she's not the type of person to, you know, create drama and not be able to back it up, or this person who is going to be like the instigator and then tell you that, you know. So, which is not the case with people that you meet later in life. And even though y'all can have a fire connection and y'all friendship can skyrocket in like 1 year, you just need to be able to judge and be like, okay, I know that I could come in person and do this, but you know what? I think it's better for me to give you tips on how to deal with this yourself. And then if it gets out of hand, then we can, you know, resort to me coming, or me bringing my battalion. I hope you guys have a great week. This should have been said in the beginning, but today's Saturday. Everyone's doing their reset. I'm washing my clothes, so if y'all hear the washing machine, I'm so sorry. But things have to get done, and the show must go on. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. So can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Take care, stay safe, all the best. Demania.